Hi, ma'am. My
Hi.
name is Anmol.
Hi.
And I just wanted to ask that do you make some layouts in your mind beforehand or is it all in the flow?
Thank you for your question. I start without anything in my mind. I start without a single idea. I just start to paint, and the painting slowly the history comes the motive, right? The motive emerges from within myself. Subconsciousness speaks, and slowly this story is being shaped. I start to paint, and then I leave the painting for a moment. And in another moment, I paint again. It's a process of many days, many weeks, many years of not having before a form or something, an idea in my mind. It just emerges. And the beauty of that is that after that, I know, okay, this painting is now ready and I know that it's me. And this is it's such a need for me to be, a need to evolve, how I told, a need to recognize myself.
प्लीज वेलकम डोमिनिका मंच पर आए आप रेनू मैम प्लीज फूलों से इनका स्वागत किया जाए नाउ स्टेज इज योर्स वन मोर थिंग Welcome, Stroll. Thank you, Dominika. Oh, her birthday today. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to dear Dominic. Happy birthday to you. Should be closer.
Like this.
Oh.
नमस्ते 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 मुझे आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई I'm so happy to be here and share with you my story and my art pieces. And I know you are great artists, and I have the pleasure having one of my pieces exposed here in this amazing academy. Let me tell you about myself. First, my grandparents were war children. They were born in occupied southern Poland called Silesia. Later, they accepted the late resettlers agreement with Germany. They moved to Germany, so did my parents, my brother and me. We were only 2 and 3 years old. I studied in Germany, in Spain, married in Mexico, and 5 years ago, we came to India due to the work of my husband. Art has always been an important companion of my life. I was very lucky in my childhood and later in my youth, college and high school. I had private art classes with Eastern European artists, and I have my paintings with private art collectors in embassies in New Delhi. And 3 years ago, I donated 3 of my art paintings here for a charity in India, supporting 10 projects for underprivileged women and children, providing art materials, study materials, and working skills for these underprivileged women. It was very happy to do that. Let me explain one of my art pieces. It's called Post-War. Post-war, it expresses migrants fleeing from their homes, living sadness. Have you ever had to abandon your own country? Have you ever felt uncertainty, leaving behind your homes, your family, your friends, everything what you loved, to something that you have no idea what is coming, something uncertain? This painting depicts people flying from their homes, but also growing up under a challenging regime. They are leaving their homes, but not their identities. I am underlining, not their identities. I wanted to express with this painting the immense sadness which is behind growing up as war children. The colors express this. In the intensity of the pink, it is vibrant. It is the intensity of feelings, of fear, of this uncertainty, of everything what is behind growing up under an occupation by another country, having scarcity and uncertainty of products, of humanity, infrastructure, everything together. It's a bomb, it's an explosion of feelings. And I truly believe that melancholy is the bridge. It bridges the loss of a former world with the hope of a perdurable heritage. Art was always a grand and important companion of my life, because it was a need to be, a need to feel, a need to express myself, but also to recognize myself. I recognize myself in my paintings. My paintings are a narrative in silence, but also in movement. It is having my deep feelings expressed in one only picture. It's still in movement. And the motive emerges from within myself, and slowly stories are being shaped. My subconsciousness talks. It is like art for me is energy. Art is energy in thoughts, art in emotions, in feelings translated into lines, forms, animals, cities, and everything together. It's like my pieces manifest scenarios that are based on time transitions, on honoric motives, and memories from the future. This painting, it's called Jacaranda Dance. It depicts animals seeking shelter, having flown for something which was happened, but they are survivors seeking shelter in the depths of the water. And I named it Jacaranda because in Mexico City, where we lived for 5 years, the jacaranda flower tree blooms every year. And it is a living legacy of a former immigrant, a very famous immigrant Japanese gardener, which brought this flower from Latin America to Mexico City because of the very good weather circumstances and the significance of continuity. The significance of continuity, it's depicted in a dance, for me, that are performed by these animals that are seeking shelter in the depths of the water. One of my paintings is called Delhi Porto. at the first glance, you may see creatures, unreal creatures, floating in a new atmosphere. Above them, there is an opening. You can witness an opening sky for a new dimension. I wanted to express a metaphor for an unpredictable future, for new beginnings. It's like the expression of something unknown, and its many manifestations that can happen in the future. And it's a mix of beauty and chaos together. Maybe you can see the lines of New Delhi. Thank you.
So is there any question about this abstract expression of Dominika? About color scheme, about space division, about composition, about line, tone, texture, color, form, inspiration, anything? You have a question?
Hello, Dominika.
Hello.
I'm also a fine artist, and I was looking and watching your color palettes. How you feel when you make Eastern countries and when you make Western? So, what color palettes you feel, or you change, or you take? Is there any difference, or it's up to your mood, or according the country geographical this thing? Because I also do cityscapes, so it keep changing according the cities and other way. So what's your Padmini?
Thank you, Parpidi, for your question. Miss Parpidi was asking me about how I choose my color palette according to the country that I am. For me, it is not depending on any country, and actually also not depending on the mood. It is a flow. It is pure energy. It is flow that comes into you, and I have my whole colors next to me, and the energy flows, and it comes immediately, and it comes normally and naturally out.
Yeah.
It's not dependent on a country or on a mood. It's just right in emotion, and it's coming naturally.
Yeah.
Yes.
At that time when you are sitting and working,
yes,
it comes
naturally.
the flow.
It's coming with the flow, which is for me an important part of my deep myself.
Yeah. Your inner world.
My inner world.
Yeah.
Yes, and I truly believe that this is also the melancholy I have to live while growing up 2 years in Silesia in southern Poland, then coming to Germany, experiencing maybe also being a stranger in a different country, feeling like a stranger, not feeling maybe in the first moment accepted, feeling fear, having a new culture, being exposed to a new language. So it was not easy for my brother and me to grow up. Maybe everybody is individual, growing up differently, but the emotions stay. And traveling through many countries, this emotion comes out.
Gracias.
De nada, gracias.
अक्षत, तुम कुछ पूछना चाहते हो? माला जी, आप पूछना चाहते हैं?
Thank you, sir. Hi, everyone. I am Dr. Mala Kapoor from Ghaziabad, and I was sir student in 2008-9, and very happy to be here. First of all, congratulations for such mega event, which he is capable of doing anything. And I have no questions because your art is so self-explanatory. Because it shows. I would like to go back to the Delhi portal, if we can have that. Delhi portal, the previous painting. So there is nothing to ask about it. You have painted Delhi portal, but I can see the world in it. The world, where the sky is blue, the dark blue, the galaxies connecting with, intertwined, and lot of color spectrum. Though you say that you had to live in melancholy, but I can see happiness and all colors here. Thank you for your art.
Thank you so much for sharing.
I think it is the turn for 2008-2009 batch. So I am Akshat, and thank you so much, Ashwani sir. Today being the last day, I think there will be an opportunity to thank you further after the show is over also. But I take this opportunity to thank you for doing all this. Thank you so much, Dominika, for bringing your artwork not just in the display, but doing this talk, because it gives an insight about specifically about the identity that you spoke about. Because you spoke about how your parents moving from Poland to South Poland to Germany carried the identity. But that also made me think of you as an individual from Poland, from Germany, from Mexico, from India. What is your identity? Is it a global identity? Is it a sum total of your, identities in different spaces? Who are you today?
Thank you for your question. I was asked indeed this question many times, and the importance is that I feel home in the world. That's how I grew up. That's how my parents taught us to be a global person, a person having their own identity, but also welcoming other cultures, living with other cultures in peace, peacefully, in friendship, dosti. The most important what my parents give us. We spoke at home a Silesian dialect, which is very particular for this occupied zone in southern Poland. And we always kept this language alive. So we kept alive our own identity, but welcoming other cultures, being happy, sharing art, sharing food, sharing dance, sharing music. And this is what I truly believe it's the bridge between cultures. Art is the bridge between cultures. And that's my identity. Art is my identity because my art bridges all the cultures that I'm coming from. I'm thankful because I feel completely thankful for having lived in Poland, visiting Poland constantly, but also growing up in Germany in a multicultural environment, studying with people from Turkey, from India, from Mexico, for so many people, sharing all together a same purpose, live in peace together. That's why I was always touched by the grandparents' histories when they shared with us these circumstances, these challenging circumstances they had to grow up. And we were always touched by that. And we know that's our identity we are coming from. So this is all about many countries that live inside my heart and are expressed by my artworks.
Very beautifully put. I think art is what unifies us, and you've said it so well. And I think art is the unifier. Thank you so much. We have won through that. Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
My name is Anmol.
Hi.
And I just wanted to ask that, do you make some layouts in your mind beforehand, or is it all in the flow?
Thank you for your question. I start without anything in my mind. I start without a single idea. I just start to paint. And the painting, slowly the history comes, the motive, right? The motive emerged from within myself. And the subconsciousness speaks, and slowly this story is being shaped. So I start to paint, and then I leave the painting for a moment. And in another moment, I paint again. And it is a continuously, it's a process of many days, many weeks, many years. Of not having before a form or something, an idea in my mind. It just emerges. And the beauty of that is that after that I know, okay, this painting is now ready, and I know that it's me. And this is it's such a need for me to be, a need to evolve, how I told, a need to recognize myself. So I really believe that every one of you is an artist by himself, and having your own form of transmitting art is the most important. We have so many different artists here in India, and also between amongst but the most important is for me to find their own path, and I'm thankful that I'm having this path of emerging. The motive comes from within myself. It is shaped in the process. Thank you.
Thank you.
So in terms of expressing through paintings to artworks, your expressions and your feelings, did you found any major difference among various artists in the mode of expressing through paintings in terms of colors or brush strokes, or anything that you have seen or found any major difference in them which you want to tell?
I'm extremely amazed by 3 artists,
Okay.
especially in Mexico City, that immediately contacted with my own history, and they were also having a First and Second World War history. Actually, one is Leonora Carrington, the English surreal artist, and the other one is a Spanish artist that is Remedios Varo. They influenced me, and they gave me also the trust in myself that I can paint surrealistically. And when you have the chance, please see their paintings. They are having the difference, for example, between Amrita Shergill, right? And them. She has also a migrant and a multicultural background in their art. You can also see it and feel it in the sadness of the colors. And for example, Remedios Varo is one of them that depicts it very precise for me.
Thank you.
This painting, before reaching the stage of this color palette, it had a green color palette. But deep inside me, I was not really convinced that should be like that. I saw the forms, I saw the people represented by animals, creatures, honorific creatures, right? And then I added this intense colors because I already knew the history behind that. And I give it more intensity through these vibrant colors. It's a process.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
If you want, you can have my contacts, and we can also have an exchange about that. I would love to have your point of view as well in that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anybody else here?
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. You're someone who has traveled a lot, who has lived in many places. Do you get new inspiration with totally different themes all the time, or do you feel that there's a red thread through your art that remains the same despite traveling and seeing new things?
Thank you for your question. Poland, Germany, Spain, Mexico, India. All 5 are a huge inspiration, and all of them are different. So the inspiration process, it's first subconscious. It is there. It's deep inside you. And in one moment of your time, it just comes out. For example, first I started to paint the Hakaranda dance. For example, the second change. This painting is all about Mexico City. And this painting emerged here in India. India for me is having so many stimulus, so many impulses, like the Nobel Prize winner Octavio Paz from Mexico said. It is contrast, and you feel you're at the same time that you're fascinated, at the same time you are sad. So it's all together. It hits you, but at the same time it hugs you. So the provocation of here, what I felt, the impulses in India that I felt, that brought me out a memory from Mexico City. So it's a little bit all about a time transition based on memories. Time transitions based on memories, and also memories for a possible future.
I wanted to ask a question as an extension to what he said. Since you've traveled again, I'm going back to that part, and you must have followed the art practice, your own practice, for many years. How have you seen it evolve? I mean, in terms of, has it been because of the movement from one location to another? Has it been because of different relationships that you've had? What has been the triggers for a change in your practice, if there has been any? If you
Yes, it has been a change in my art. The biggest change was the loss of my grandparents. I truly felt it inside my heart, and I'm still missing them a lot. I love them a lot, and they are the base of my identity. So losing first my grandfather and then my grandmother, that was the time when we lived in Mexico City, not being there when they died, not accompanying my family, being close to them. I started again the painting of him. I made a big portrait of my grandfather in Mexico that is in Mexico City still, and it was the deep sadness which I felt inside my heart. So this was the main trigger. And the emotions.
Thanks. I know it's not easy to share these things which are so inside, and in a public forum to share these things. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think ये सेशन बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग रहा, तो आप लोगों की तालियों के बीच में मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ डोमिनिका को. Thank you so much. Beautiful talk. We thoroughly enjoyed.
Oh, namaste, dhanyavad, bahut dhanyavad.
So thank you.
Thank you.
And